Bit of a chaotic morning for me. Hold on 1 second here. There we go. That's better. Had kind of a streak coming down from the light above my in my car. Wonder if we're gonna have anybody on today. I didn't schedule it. I'm 12 minutes late. I wasn't gonna go live. I was gonna do it at home. I was gonna do it at a different Starbucks, and I'm now doing it here. Good morning, Julie Flanagan. Thank you for joining. I didn't know if we'd have anybody on today, Julie, because I'm running late. Poor Julie. I almost reached out to her during the night a couple times. Good morning, Joshua. It's having all sorts of dark thoughts, Julie. It's having all sorts of dark thoughts. And at like 4 in the morning, I was up thinking about a bunch of stuff and just kind of anxious, I think. I think if you got to leave the house at 5:30, 7 days a week to do a coffee show that doesn't cover your financial responsibilities, and when you're not doing that, when you're done with that, you're running to pick up your kids and drive them around from place to place to place. And then when you're done with that, you drop them back off at their mom's, and then you drive around, and then you go to sleep at 7, and then you recycle and do it all again. The next morning, I think it can start to weigh on you. It was certainly weighing on me during the night. And I know these are all my decisions. These are all my choices. I'm not blaming anybody else. So don't anybody think I'm blaming anybody else, but I am saying I had dark thoughts during the night. And at about 4:50, I said, I was tired. I was going to hell with this. I don't need to do coffee with Ken today. I'm going to listen to some melodic music and drift off back to sleep. Screw coffee with Ken. And at 5:31, I wake up and I look at I'm hoping it's like 8:30 in the morning. It's 5:31. And I wake up, I look at the clock and I go, screw coffee with Ken. And I lay there. Laid there for about 3 minutes, and I go, what the hell? What am I going to do just laying here? Except have more dark thoughts, and I've drifted for 20 minutes. So let's see, maybe I can make it to Starbucks on time. Maybe I don't have to pack for the whole day. Maybe I can come back to home when I'm done at Starbucks, or when I'm done with coffee with Ken, or whatever. So I get in my car, get to Starbucks, 5:43 a.m. We know there's a lot of changes going on. There's a nice guy in there, but he and I have some discomfort over the changes in the rules, and just the way he always explains it to me, and he's the one that is always breaking me the rules. And I go, yeah, could you just, and I don't disagree with any of the changes at the rules at Starbucks. It's their business. They should change the rules. I think they were wasting so many cups on refills for drinks and refills for waters, and it was horrible for the environment, and it was horrible for their bottom line. So more power to them for somebody going, hey, we got a problem here. And their Starbuckses were dirty, and the bathrooms were dirty, and the floors had litter on them, and the coffee shop wasn't what it should be. So I am glad that they made some changes. However, as a guy that goes like twice a day for the last 10 years at least, these changes are coming a little rough with me. I usually have him switch a little water in this to heat up the bottom. He goes, oh no, we can't do that. It's a health hazard. So I'm sitting there going, okay, now I don't know what to do. I'm here. I've got my cup. I want you to put coffee in it. I've confessed that it didn't just come out of the dishwasher, because it doesn't. And again, I'm not blaming them. It's their business, their rules. I get it. They don't want to clean my cup. I totally get it. But I'm sitting there going, all right, Josh, this is about the 37th rule you told me that you couldn't do in the last week. I'm annoyed. I know it's not your fault, but I am still annoyed. I'm a human. So I go, okay, Josh, we'll see you later. So I get in my car, drive down here. It's about 2 miles to the next Starbucks. I go in the bathroom. I scrub it clean so I don't have to ask them to swish some water around. And have them fill up the coffee. I ask for cream and cinnamon. They go, oh, no, we have it down at the end. I go, oh, I don't see it down there. But he goes, oh, yeah, it'll be down there. Which, again, I think it's better when they have the stuff out. I hated that they put the condiments behind the counters. I hated it because I don't know, I like the community feeling of us going up to the counter together and pouring our cream in our coffee or opening our bags of sugar. It felt like a chance to interact with a human being, and it was silly little work that was put on the baristas for a number of years. So again, I'm not complaining about the rules. I think they're good rules. However, there's still some challenges that they're facing. So he pours me my coffee in my clean cup that I cleaned by myself in the bathroom and warmed it up. Went down to the end. There was no cream and there was no cinnamon. Because again, they're learning too. So I don't blame anybody, but I'm just venting. So I go, hey, there's actually no cream nor cinnamon. So they get it, and I pour it, and I hurry out here, and I go live with you at about 5:56 a.m., about 11 minutes later than my scheduled start time. So good morning to you. My name is Ken Tracy, and this is Coffee with Ken. It is Friday morning. It is January 31st. It's 6:02 a.m. Happy Friday. It's a little show. It's a little baby show. We got a great audience. Sorry to squeak. I haven't had any water. I barely brushed my teeth. I was then ran out the door because I was going to get on at 5:45, but then I had to go to a different Starbucks. This is my life. John Doe asked, hey, you have a lot of dark thoughts. Am I okay? No, I'm not okay, John. This is my life. This is what I do. It's stressful as hell. But I laugh about it, so it's kind of okay. As I was saying, this is a show I've been doing for quite some time. It is a show about me talking. It is a show about me sharing some feelings. And for those that have been watching a while, you know that it's not just a show about me talking. You know, it is also a show about me sharing. I think I got a sneeze deep inside my nasal passages. So if I have to interrupt this show with an emergency message from our local sinus broadcasting company, that's why. But anyway, I'm excited to have my first sip. My hope is wherever you are, whatever you're doing, that you got a hot cup of coffee in front of you as well. Cheers to us. Oh. Hold on. I was reading. I'm sorry. Brendan, I love the question, although it's going fast. I was reading it while I was taking my sip. That was not the special attention I needed to direct towards my first sip of coffee. I am sorry. First sip of coffee. I will have another sip, and I will give you more attention. Hold on. Get back to me. I'm going to flip back to your question. Hold on. 100% focus on my coffee. I love you, coffee. I mean, I say that jokingly, but it is sort of true. You know, you can take a swig of coffee or a swig of beer if you like to drink beer. And just kind of not even notice it. Or you can go for a walk through your neighborhood or take your kids to school or any number of things that we do a million times a day and we can take it for granted. The little pleasures, and we all do, and I know I do, and that was a good example just there, and maybe a lesson for me today. I was reading somebody's comment, and while I was taking my first sip, and I barely even noticed the sip. The sip was almost got in the way of my reading, and it's because I wasn't in the moment, and the moment wasn't the comment. I apologize to the questioner. The moment was supposed to be that coffee, and I wasn't giving the coffee the attention it deserved, and not like the coffee needs the attention because it's just coffee. But we deserve to give the coffee the attention, and we deserve to give our kids their attention when we're driving them to school, and our dog deserves its attention when we're taking him for a walk, and our bed deserves the attention when we're making it, because all the attention we're showering out on the coffee, the bed, the kids, the dog, I think kind of comes back on us, and makes us feel better too. Can you mix the coffee and the beer if you like both? Well, I always believe that you should do you. I don't think it sounds very good, but you can. You can mix your coffee and your beer if you like both. I don't think it would be good, but I'm not going to tell you it's wrong. It's good that it was worth the hassle. Julie, I would have been just flipping and flopping going, is she annoyed with me? Can I text her? Will she be more annoyed with a text or a call? So, yeah, here I am. Good morning, Addis Bernow. Coffee and whiskey I've heard of. Melanie, you're crazy if you want beer this early. I don't know if you're talking to me. I don't want beer this early. Hello, Gia. Brendan Collins, would I consider a series of videos or live protests directed at Starbucks for these draconian policies? I'm not sure they're draconian policies. I don't know which policies are draconian. I think they're probably going in the right direction. I just wasn't ready for the change. I mean, I thought it was silly that they were throwing out so many cups, because Starbucks is a left-leaning company, hard. And I think we should all care about the environment, but they were going through millions and millions and millions of wasted cups every day. And it makes me wonder if they really cared about the environment at all, why would they do that? Like, if the environment matters, if there's really an island of pollution in the Pacific Ocean that's 2 miles wide and Starbucks cares, it was hurting my feelings when they wouldn't pour water in my plastic cup of water. They'd get me a new one. I'm going, well, that's just going to create more of this. And this is after the rules change. And yes, I guess it could be my fault, but I'm not the one that's a left-leaning company that says they care about all the spotted owl in Oregon. I'm just some grubby consumer. What did Starbucks do? Nothing horrid. They're just changing the rules. They had rules. They brought all their creamers and all their sugars and all their packets. I don't know if people were coming in and stealing sugar or stealing cream, or if it was due to COVID and they didn't want people touching the creamer with their hands. I think it happened during COVID, although they shut down during COVID. I think this is just the unwinding. They got a new CEO, and they put in a bunch of rules in 2018 that were supposed to be friendly to everybody and accommodating to everybody. Apparently, 2 black men were mistreated at a Starbucks back in like 2017 or 2018. And I don't know the story. I wasn't there and I haven't read anything, but I think that's what caused it. And they decided to be a more welcoming, open policy to everybody. And if you hang out in Starbucks often, or you did over the last several years, sometimes you'll see, and it's sad, but like homeless guys sleeping in there or whatever. And they put the creamers and the sugar packages and whatever behind the counter. And again, I'm not sure, maybe somebody was stealing them, or maybe it was during COVID and they didn't want the germs spreading. But either way, in the last week, they're changing those policies and they're rolling them back. It was 2 homeless guys who weren't customers. Okay. All right. Yeah. But either way, they're rolling back those policies. And it's just weird seeing And I'm not saying they shouldn't roll back the policies, but it's just weird going through. And look, first world problems. I know. But every time I'm up there to get some more hot water in my teacup, my teacup, I feel like, I'm at risk for doing something wrong, which is a weird feeling as a customer. And I know I'm not saying it's anybody's fault, but I'm just sharing the experience as a guy that's been here every day. So I literally drove from 2 miles from one Starbucks to the next because I was a little ticked off. So here I am. If you haven't already, hit that button. Show Ken some love. Oh, well, thank you, the power of thoughts. Thank you, the power of thoughts. I think that's so sweet of you. Do I know you, the power of thoughts? Are you following me from another page, or have we ever spoken? Because that seems some serious love you're giving me. And I appreciate some serious love, because I haven't felt any serious love in quite some time. Like and subscribe. Oh, Kendall's life. That's so sweet. You're welcome, Ken. No, we've never met. Okay, well, I appreciate it, the power of thoughts. You're really, and so are you, Kendall's life, spreading some good cheer for me today. And I'll tell you what, sometimes a guy needs a little good cheer. Sometimes a guy needs some good cheer. Yeah, Gia, I do need some. I went to church last night. I went early last night, and it was good. I went to a small group meeting at church. I go to the Yellow Box, which is a big Christian church here in Naperville. And about a month ago, John Joe said, you have a lot of dark thoughts. Are you okay? I don't know if I am okay, John Joe. I don't know if anyone's truly okay, first of all. And anybody who changes their careers, gets a divorce, and goes sober in the last couple of years is going to go through a lot of changes. And I've gone through a lot of changes, and sometimes change is hard and feels weird, and sometimes you can feel lonely and anxious and questioning and wondering. So I don't know if I'm okay. I don't know if I'm okay at all, but this is me. This is what I'm bringing to the table, okay or not. So anyway, about a month ago, I was in church, and I'd realized that being at church was one of the places I felt kind of safe. I felt protected from some of the stuff in the outside world, some of the stressors we all have, but some of the personal stressors that felt like they were coming after me. And I felt safe there. And in that meeting before the sermon, some guy got up and talked about some small groups that were going to be forming at church, and that we could sign up after the service or whatever. And I went out, I talked to somebody, and I signed up for something called Alpha. And I went last night, was my first night. I liked a lot about it. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it's never going to be perfect. I wish we would have had more just kind of talking and less kind of organized stuff. But at the end of the talking, we sat in a room. We broke into smaller groups, subgroups like, 12 or something. And we each got in a room, and we went around the room, and we remembered each other's names, and it was kind of funny. You had to use an adjective to describe that started with the first letter of your name. And the first person said, "Hi, I'm Nice Nicole." And the second person said, "Hi, Nice Nicole, I'm Graceful Grace." And so on. And then it got to me, and I go, "Hi, Nice Nicole, Graceful Grace, Delightful Dawn." And I'm sitting here with K, going, what's an adjective that starts with K? And I mean, I felt it coming. I couldn't think of any. I guess I could have thought kooky. I didn't think kooky. I thought kinky. So I go, and I'm Kinky Ken. And everyone got a big laugh out of that. And then every time around the room that when they hit me, they called me Kinky Ken, and that was kind of funny. It was the only adjective I could think of. I'm in a Christian church. I wasn't trying to be dirty or anything. I wasn't even trying to be funny. I wasn't. It was interesting. I tend to draw a lot of attention to myself. It is, it can be challenging being me. I get in trouble all the time and I'm not doing anything. I'm just kind of near the trouble. And I'd get blamed for it all the time. I'm telling you, it's not fair. At my last restaurant, it's 64 Wine Bar. I didn't bring in the coffee. I didn't. My buddy Dave did. He brought in some hazelnut coffee or something like that. And he poured it. He made it. I didn't do it. I wouldn't have had the guts. I would have just taken the regular store-bought coffee. And this happens all the time. So I'm just telling you one little tiny story. And I got yelled at. She goes, "Did you bring this in?" And I go, "Well, honestly, no." "Well, because this is an allergy hazard. This could cause blah, 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 blah." And I go, "But I didn't even bring it in." Just because I got a talk show that says Coffee with Ken doesn't mean I get yelled at about every coffee issue that comes up. But it happens all the time. It happened in school. It happens wherever I go. People look at me. What's that guy doing? Which is nice. It's nice to get attention. It is. But not when you're getting in trouble for everything. So anyway, before I was sitting at a different Starbucks. It might not have been a different. It might have been this Starbucks. I'm sorry if I'm not reading your questions a whole heck of a lot. I'm just rolling. So I was sitting at Starbucks and I was listening to one of my Stoic videos or audios. And they were talking about how silence is powerful. And I'm going, well, I'm not very silent very often. Maybe I'll try it. And then they go, more important than silence is presence, which is silence with action. I go, wow, that sounds pretty cool. I think I might have some presence, as I talked about last night. I think presence is the art of getting noticed just by being in the room. Yeah. And again, it's cool in a lot of ways. I walk into a party, people come up and say, hey. But I'm telling you, you get in trouble all the time if you're me. And I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just a nice guy. I'm not a perfect guy. So anyway, I go to this church meeting. I'm all psyched to be present, or not to be present, to have presence and be silent. And one of the organizers in my group wanted to strike up conversation with me. And I was kind of sitting there eating my pizza and drinking my water, just kind of taking it all in, trying to be powerful with silence, yet have presence. And of course I did for some reason. And I don't think it's because I smelled, but I like to sit where I get to see the door, people coming in. And apparently in my group, everyone else doesn't, because the ring of the circle was all backs to the door. And then I had a couple spaces on both sides of me where I was watching the door. And a guy noticed me because presence. I was just sitting there. I'm surprised somebody didn't yell at me for doing something wrong, but I was trying. I was on my best behavior. I was at church. I was just eating pizza. I only took 2 slices. But anyway, he goes, "So Ken," and he was being kind. I think he was worried that I was lonely. I was anything but lonely. I was focusing on silence and presence and, just trying to be stoic as possible. He goes, "So Ken," because we had name tags. We wrote name tags, and we had to write 3 things about us on our name tags. I'll tell you what, 3 things I wrote in a minute. Except my name tag was flipped over just because that's the way it was. But he knew my name. And he goes, "So Ken, what do you, how do you keep busy during the day?" And it was kind of one of those open-ended conversations. He was trying to draw me out. But I'm going, well, I do a lot of things. And because he was trying to draw me out, but I was trying to stay within. And I go, honestly, I'm practicing silence right now. What a jerk, I'm sure he thought. And we continued on, and about 10 minutes later, I kind of whispered, hey, I wasn't trying to be rude, but I'm really working on trying to be quieter tonight. And I told him about the Stoic video and about presence and silence and how I get noticed and how no matter what happens, I get blamed or I get something pointed at, poked, prodded. And he goes, oh, I respect that. And it was good. And then we went downstairs and we did our little room, and we touched on questions we'd ask God if God was here and we could ask him. And this is going to sound weird, so I won't even say it. But I think my interpretation, I think I'm getting the message of Christianity and spirituality more so than people that have gone to church forever. I think it clicked with me. I think I understand what is being said. I'm understanding why things are occasionally hard in life. I'm understanding why bad things happen. Like they asked, why do bad things happen to good people? And then somebody reversed it, or why do bad people get away with things? My answer to them is because God doesn't see good and bad people. He sees us all as we've all sinned. We've all sinned. We're all forgiven. But I didn't get to chime in. And there was a bunch of things like that. And they wanted to know why bad things happen. And my question to God was, how am I doing, God? He didn't answer me at that moment. But because I was just giving it hypothetically for the room. But usually when I ask God that, he says, I'm doing okay. Do I think I'm divinely inspired by like the Pope or some sage? Well, first of all, I don't know if the Pope is divinely inspired at all. At all. Yeah, I don't have any knowledge of the Pope's divine inspiration. Do I think I'm divinely inspired or a sage? I'm not sure what you mean, a sage. What's a sage? A wise person? I think I get it. I think I understand what it means, what God means, and where God is, and how to talk to him. And we do have a direct relationship with him, that we do not need to go to the Pope to communicate with God. We do not. And I think not everyone gets it. And it's fine. It's not for everybody to get. And maybe this is just my interpretation. But yeah. You know, I was at church in Yellowstone. I went to a church once, and the pastor there he didn't make me uncomfortable, but it wasn't the church that I felt comfortable with. And I ran into him. He was, I don't know, doing something in the park, and I ran into him, and I didn't go to church the Sunday before, and the pastor minister said something to me that God's forgiven me. I didn't like the way he said it. I almost felt he was giving me forgiveness. Like he was okay with me missing church. And I was forgiven in his eyes. And I didn't like that message because he's just a dude. Yeah. We can communicate with God in our own way at home or at church. Yeah, I love church because it's a group of people working on themselves and getting a little better. And it's a safe place for me. and it's a place I feel comfortable. So people were talking in our little group, why do we join this small group? And I explained to them, the hour I spend a week at church is usually my best hour of the week, or one of my best hours of the week for sure. So I figure if I'm here more, it might be more better. It's fun saying more better. The pizza. Okay, Brennan asked, where's the pizza from? And he also said, if I flex my spiritual prowess, I might get to pick the toppings. First of all, if I got to flex, I wouldn't have gotten it from where they got it from. I think they got it from somewhere like cheapish. I don't know. It was just kind of whatever pizza, kind of mid-soft, thin crust, but kind of soft thin. That's not what you want. You want the thin and crispy. But anyway, enough about the pizza. I think I would do an amazing job leading some of these groups or having a more active role in this church. Yeah, I think I'd do an amazing job. I'm not a sage or divinely enlightened or anything, but I think I have a good way to communicate, and I think I could help people at church feel better, whether it's in a small group or talking on stage or sharing my story or holding the door open on a Sunday or making sure the cars get parked okay. I think I could. Let's go to church, ask forgiveness, and go right back to the bar. They crawl out of the bar early Sunday morning, go to church, ask forgiveness, and go right back to the bar. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Alexander, yeah, no, I was thinking about it. I was going, well, these two people leading this group are pretty good. But I think I could. Again, okay, I'll go further. I've been looking kind of for jobs. I need money. I get a little money from this. I think this is what I should be doing. I think I should be generating, because I got 67 people watching me, and I was late, and I'm just a dude sitting here drinking a coffee in a Kia Soul with some cheap light on outside a Dunkin' or a Starbucks, excuse me, in a rainy day in Naperville. And 67 people are tuned in. So I don't know why, but people watch me and listen to me. I think I should be doing this and generating revenue doing this. However, I would like to fill parts of my life in other ways than those 4 hours where I'm with my kids a few days a week or where I'm at the gym. I think we're all searching for meaning a little bit or purpose a little bit. And sometimes I don't feel mine is being fulfilled enough. And I was wondering at that church if they have any paid positions of anything. And it made me think differently about my job search. Because I'm thinking, what do I want to do? Like for a living. And when you're in your mid-50s and you leave a career of real estate sales that you've done for 17 years, I don't know what I want to do for a living. But I might know where I want to do it. And if I went to the church and said, hey, are you hiring for anything? I'll clean the toilets, I'll park cars, I'll hold doors open, I'll watch babies, I'll do whatever you need because I want to work here. I don't know what I want to do, but I know where I want to do it. And it doesn't necessarily have to be at the church. But I think maybe if I thought of my job search more from that aspect, like there's an Audi dealer across the street from me, and I talk about buying an Audi. If I was committed to working for Audi, just going and getting any job there, parking cars, whatever. And I'm not sure I'm committed to Audi because I'm not sure that I'd want to work my way up in a car dealer. I think there's a little something sleazy feeling about car dealers to me. It's fun. It's exciting. I love the smell of new cars, and I love cars. But there's something I think inherently slightly sleazy about car sales that doesn't exist at that church. And maybe if I put more time, more thought into, where I wanted to be, where I talk a lot about my happy places. Starbucks has always been a happy place. My gym's always been a happy place. My old Keller Williams office was a happy place for me. I think I worked at Keller Williams not for the job that I was doing as much as just that it was a happy place. I enjoyed the people and I got to hug people and be friendly. And it was a friendly environment. I'll tell you what, I did work at a gym once. I hated it. I hated it. Worked at a Lifetime Fitness here in Warrenville, and I was the greeter, the guy that checks you in. I have a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm, and I'm really good at saying good morning and greeting people, but it was thousands of people just zoom, zoom, zoom. Good morning, have a great workout, great seeing you, thanks for coming in. And after like 2 or 3 hours, I was, I got nothing left. I have nothing left. Will I ever do real estate again? No. Not in the way it currently set up. Your job isn't to sell real estate when you're in real estate. Your job is to get more customers. Because as soon as you get the customer, you kind of put them in the system and then they buy a home or sell a home. But your job as a realtor is always to get more customers. The more customers you have, the more real estate you sell. So the people that sell the most homes aren't the best at selling homes per se. They're the best at generating customers. And maybe that's the same thing. But to me, it seemed wrong. I wanted, I didn't like it. I didn't like it. Become a monk. I don't want to become a monk. That sounds horrible. Alexander, everyone says you should be a realtor. It's more stressful than it's worth. Do you like your job, Alexandra? Do you like what you do? You sell Pelotons right now, and I know you bike a lot. You do seem like a nice person. You're positive and you're stay connected. So I think there's some attributes about real estate that you'd be good for. You're a good-looking woman, I think. So I think you'd look nice on a business card. Open up your own coffee shop. No. Again, I'd rather do something at the church than open up my own coffee shop. I'd rather hold doors open or mop the floors. Good morning, bass. Is it bass or bass? What made you do real estate so long if I disliked it so much? Well, I wouldn't say I disliked it so much. That's overstating it. What made me do it? You have a flexible schedule, you have unlimited upside in earnings, and you have the possibility, the longer you're in the business, the bigger your business is. So the longer I was in, the harder it was to leave because after 17 years, I had a lot of people knowing that I was a realtor. Your first day, nobody knows you're a realtor and you're not going to sell a home. And over time, you build up a database and people you stay in touch with, and you impress people and you get referrals, and the longer you're in it, the harder it is to leave. What made me stay in it? The flexible schedule, the ability to make big chunks of money at a time, and the I don't know, feeling like I was running my own business. I like that aspect of it. But other than that, I hated telling people I was a realtor. Yeah, I did. it almost, as soon as you told them you were a realtor, it almost felt like something had changed. And they were now interviewing you, going, oh, I've got a friend down the street who says business is amazing. How is it for you? And I'd be sitting there going, hey, man, I just am drinking my coffee. Leave me alone. But you couldn't do that. You had to go, oh, it's amazing for me as well. I just had a closing. I've got showings all afternoon. And it just felt so phony. It felt so phony because, again, the more a realtor talks, the less they sell a home. If I'm showing a home, the best thing I can do, and I don't care, you guys might disagree, but I know what I'm talking about, is let you go in the home by yourself and cruise around. You don't need me hey, there's the kitchen. Look at those countertops. Some people say, oh, I love when a realtor does that, but most people don't. I know. When I used to go look at homes, I'd go in and ditch the realtor. I'd make them hang out with my wife, and I'd be running around checking out the upstairs going, could I live here or not? Because no words the realtor said would have gotten me to buy a home, would have convinced me to buy a home that didn't feel right for me. And I think the moment you walk in a house if you might want to buy it. Yeah. So anyway, I think the more words the realtor said, the actual less likely they were to sell a home. So I'd walk in, I'd do the tour, and I'd give the customer as much space as I could to experience it and to see if it feels right. It was fun sometimes when you knew it felt right, and the home was the nice temperature and smelled nice, and the lights were on and showed well. It was an exciting feeling when you knew your home matched what the buyer was looking for and what they were hoping for. We've moved so many times, and I've done crazy realtor stories. Yeah, no, everyone does. I tell you what, you go into a party and you're a realtor and everybody knows it. Everybody comes up and asks how the market is. And at this time I was a drunk and I'm going, hey man, leave me alone. I'm just here to get drunk. I didn't really say that, but that's what I was thinking. That's what I wanted to say. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Hey, can you get me another hot dog? Leave me alone. I'm not going to talk about the market. I don't want to talk about how the market is all night. I didn't say that, but that's what I wanted to say. Or I didn't want to hear everybody's crazy realtor stories. Or how horrible their realtor was how bad they screwed up their last deal, how they got screwed, how the inspector sucked, how the roof leaked, how the foundation was cracked and it didn't show in the seller report or whatever, the seller disclosure. Everybody lives in homes, so everybody is a potential customer. And it was a yucky feeling. It was a yucky feeling. I couldn't just be Ken the drunk. I had to be Ken the drunk realtor. Yeah, I didn't like it. Yeah, it got really old. Again, everybody had asked, everyone looked at you as a realtor. All my friends. I got horrifically separated from my second wife, and I was out and I was horridly feeling, and I was down. I was meeting some buddies out, and one of my buddies goes, so Ken, and he was trying to be good-spirited, how's the market? And I go, Joe, I don't give a damn about the market right now. And I was close to tears. Yeah. Because you couldn't be a human. You had to be a cyborg of real estate talk and curiosity. And I'm not saying, maybe I sucked, but that's the way I felt. That's the way I felt. Every conversation felt like an interview, and I hated that. And because I'm a friendly guy that wants to get to know people. and cares about people and cares about their kids and doesn't just care to find out what school district they are so I can sell them a home on this expensive street in Naperville, but wants to know what makes people tick. And, you know, I don't think I was meant to be a realtor. I mean, I know I wasn't. I was too easily replaced. I was too easily replaced. No matter how good I thought I was, or prompt, or punctual, or hardworking, or friendly, or smart, or a hell of a negotiator, or knew the area, they knew 20 other people that could get them to buy and sell a house. So it almost felt like you're an ass kisser. You know? You couldn't talk politics because you didn't want to offend half the people. I couldn't come out and say, I'm hurting. I'm down, I'm bummed, I'm sad, I'm happy, I'm glad, I'm whatever. I had to be, I think and some people are that. Some people are. I'm more than that. But I'm also sometimes, and I'm a shade in the middle. And I don't think that worked well with real estate. I think you had to really love it. You had to really, really, really love it. And I did not really, really, really love it. Gia said, first of all, I don't even like when people say I should. And Gia's skipping that and telling me what I need to do. You need to go to the Frace and start working there. You would definitely enjoy working there. The Frace? The church, maybe? Hi, Alexander. I think car sales impact a wider group of people than home sales. People who rent still drive cars after all. Oh, is Stacy suggesting car sales? Yeah. No, I mean, I got car sale dealers all around here. I do. Audi, right there. I think I bought my Audi from right there. It feels different. I did buy my Audi from right there. I don't have my Audi. I bought my Kia from right there. There's a Kia dealer there and the Audi dealer right there. The birthplace of my last two cars is right across the street from me. It's almost fate. Oh, you said, how about working in France? Wait, Gia, you're confusing me. You threw a question mark. What did you say? Did you say I should go to France and work? It's a long commute to France. Do people chat up car salespeople at parties like realtors? I doubt it. I doubt it, Stacy. I doubt it. Because I don't think anyone looks at their car as a bank account. Everybody looks at their home as a bank account and checks on Zillow and to see what his estimate is and wants to know how the real estate market is doing because they want to know how much their home is worth, how homes are selling. They're all considering selling sometime in the next 10 years, and they want to know how it's going to be. Cars are something you use up, kind of. I'm not concerned with the current value of this car at all. But if you own a house, in the back of your mind, you're wondering, hey, how much is it worth? Can I take a home equity line out? Is the market hot? If I do need to move, if I do get a job promotion or a transfer, can I sell my house quickly? I think the home impacts us much more, and it's much more of a conversation starter. Gee, again, okay, you think I should go to France? Well, I don't know. I don't know even that I should go to France to work. I don't even speak French. I don't even know if I would like France. Yes, you don't know till you try it, but I don't know that I need to try France. I mean, maybe I do, Gia. Why not Malaysia? Weren't we going to hang out in Malaysia? Yeah, Alexandra. Yeah, the home is everybody's biggest investment. And whether you just bought or you've lived there for 10 years, if you just bought, you want to know that the home down the street sold for more than yours. So everyone's curious about it, even more than the stock market. And I've done both. And all you're doing is talking. And again, Alexandra said earlier that she had so many realtor horror stories. Everybody does. Everybody wants to tell you their experience buying and selling a home. Sometimes I just want to get drunk at a party. Malaysia is not that rich, can't pay me well. But Gia, we would live off the love. I really have I should Google Malaysia when I'm done here. Because Gia watches a lot. And I joke about Malaysia. And I don't know if it's like Tibet or if it's like Vietnam. I really don't. I would be a great high school teacher. I would get fired in the first week teaching high school. I'd say something wrong. I'd offend somebody. Yeah. Would you be open to raising a child with Gia? I mean, I don't think Gia and I are quite ready to raise children together. I mean, I've never spoken to her. I'm not even 100% sure it's a woman. I mean, no offense, Gia, but I've not seen a picture of you. So I'm not open to raising a child with Gia at this moment. Barbie loves that I'm bald. She loves to oil up my head. And I'll tell you what, you can do crazy things with an oily bald head, I'll tell you that. Drives the women wild. Yeah, Gia could be Gerald. So I'm not ready to commit to Malaysia and Gia yet, although I appreciate her. Is that okay, Candy? Do you want another check mark next to your name, Candy? I erased a couple of the check marks on your name, along your name. So how was this show today? Wait, somebody's been to Malaysia maybe once or twice. It really depends. The capital is very developed like Singapore, but on the outskirts it's like Vietnam. Okay, so it is like Vietnam-ish. And I've never been to Singapore or Vietnam, but I hear Vietnam's very hot. It's like a built-in mirror. I don't know what you mean. Do you guys hear the sounds of the drips on the car? The pitter-patter of the rain? I should go back into writing. I don't know. At least I thought it sounded kind of poetic for some reason. No, it's not really coming down. It's just kind of slightly coming down. It's kind of peaceful. Well, Candy, I don't know how many checks you're allowed, but you better watch yourself. Yes, I was just thinking it was relaxing. Should we sit here and should I stop talking? Should I work on my silence and my presence and just kind of be stoic? And we can all listen to the rain together and I can go home. Or maybe not, because going isn't really silence. Just breathe. Has this been a good show? Has this been a good show? Because it almost didn't happen. There were plenty of obstacles between me and doing this show. And we've talked for about an hour. And we've talked with about an hour, and it feels good. If I would have been flipping and flopping in my bed, maybe, see, I think maybe with me, I'm wondering, okay, if I didn't do this show today, would I be forced to take some other action? Forced to go in that Audi dealer and say, hello, I'll scrub your toilets, please. Will you hire me? Maybe that's not a bad idea as far as the job search goes. Yeah, I'll definitely go back to the group next Thursday, Alexandra. I'll definitely go back to the group next Thursday. It wasn't like overwhelmingly magical at all, but I think it was nice to hang out with some adults and talk about stuff and have people share their stuff a little bit. It was kind of nice. How was my small group? It was real good. John Joe said he's actually done that. I don't know what you mean. Kia can hire me. I'm serious, though, about that. Applying to a place, not for a job. Because I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what qualifications I have. I mean, I know I have qualifications, but I keep waiting for somebody to go, hey, this guy's got a good voice. I want to hire him for my radio job or something. Maybe I can't keep doing that, or maybe I can. I'd like the janitor gig. And boy, I can tell you stories, says John Joe. I don't know what he's talking about. This is B2. Steve Thomas, what does B2 mean? Toilets. Oh, maybe next week you can actually call yourself Kind Ken. But Frank, can I switch? I mean, if I had to describe myself as Kind Ken or Kinky Ken, and I was honest about it, I mean, it'd be about 50-50. It'd be about 50-50. I'm kind, but I have a hard streak. That's all I'll say about that. Did you play pickup basketball with guys afterwards? No, Jack Taylor, we did not. There was no... We were in the gym, though. Wait, hold on here. Go for it. What is my go for it, Candy? Have fun, Patricia. Ken, these days, job doesn't search for guys. Guys have to search for jobs. I almost think that might be wrong, Gia. I think that's always been the case. Let me start over. Has this been a good show, guys? Have you been pleased with the output that we've created today together on this Friday morning before 7? Because, again, I want to feel it's worthwhile. Somebody said, finally, a decent white male on YouTube Live. Thank you for representing my race well. I feel like I'm a Dalmatian or something that didn't pee on the carpet and I'm getting my head patted. Good Dalmatian. Okay, Alexander said, yes. If you interact with your members, it's a good show. All right, Gia, thank you. Do I do seances or exorcisms at small groups? No, we haven't yet, Brennan, but keep the good questions coming. One like for me today. Has anybody new watched my show and subscribed to my channel today? Is anybody out there that is new and has subscribed to my channel today? I hope so. Welch did yesterday. Yes, Stevie Thomas wants to connect with me. Well, Stevie Thomas, how can you connect with me? Maybe comment on one of my videos, something that will allow me to connect with you. When you interact with your members, they engage with you more in your show. I did, but obviously you ignore me, says Big Sexy. Exception says Agent 47. Morning, bro. Not LinkedIn. Liked and subscribed. Well, I appreciate you, Alexandra. I really do. I still have about 2/3 of a cup of coffee in my cup. So when I go into Starbucks, I'm going to bring in an apple. I'm going to bring in my computer. It's interesting to me about the searching for a place, not a job necessarily. And I'm not sure if it makes sense or if anybody thought that. But yeah, the thought of working in the church somehow, some way, doing anything seemed good to me. And maybe it doesn't have to be the church, and maybe it doesn't have to be that Audi dealer or the Starbucks behind me. But if I thought about that a little more, well, I mean, any other places in mind, I can think of a million. I like kids' preschools. I like pet stores or veterinary clinics. But I'm not saying either is the right answer, but I think you can brainstorm pretty quickly and kind of go, hey, because I don't need to make 100 grand doing whatever job I get, because this is my primary source of income, or will be. But I could use some activity and I could use cash for sure. Yeah. And I think both would help me feel a little more purposeful and a little more comfortable and less stressed and what have you. So it is 7 in the morning. It's 6:58 in the morning, and it is Friday. And how much do I make from YouTube? I'll probably make $400 from YouTube in January. But anyway, it's Friday morning, and I appreciate you guys for watching today. And I wasn't even gonna go live, but I woke up and said, what the heck, let's do it. I was a little late today, but I appreciate you guys hopping on and following my page and liking my channel and subscribing to it, and all the interaction we've gotten, and sharing a little bit of your morning with me. So I hope you're having a wonderful, wonderful week. You're having a great, great morning. Steve Thomas, I'm in Chicago, so we're not going to connect if you're out in Oregon. I mean, you could call me. It's not hard to find my phone number, Steve Thomas. My name is Ken Tracy. It's Ken Tracy, and I'm in Naperville. So if you want to find my phone number, it's not hard to do. I was a realtor for a bunch of years, and my phone number's all over. So Steve Thomas, again, you're there. If you really need to connect at some level, find my phone number. I'm in Naperville, Illinois, and my name is Ken Tracy, Tracy. You won't have a hard time finding it if you want to. But yeah, send me a text or something. But anyway, I so appreciate you guys for hopping on. And if anybody out there needs to talk or is feeling alone, know you're not alone, and know that this guy that with the big mouth and the smile feels alone sometimes too, and feels dark thoughts sometimes too, and hurts and struggles and cries, and so know you're not alone. And I hope you have a wonderful day. And I'm going to say this with a little extra effort today, because I hope you're loving yourself. That's obvious. But I say it at the end of every show that I hope you're forgiving yourself. And I've done some things. I've done something over the last 6 years that I have not forgiven myself for. And I bring it up to Julie on an almost daily basis. And I need to forgive myself for that. So I'm only throwing that extra. If you're out there and feeling about something that you did something that you wish you wouldn't have or whatever, realize there's a reason. And despite the pain or suffering it may have caused you, uh, keep smiling and forgive yourself. So anyway, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. I'll be going live at 6 o'clock tonight. I want to thank you so much for joining. I hope to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.